Come hang out with your boy while we talk about the 2024 WNBA draft class. And I'ma just go on the record and say this is the best draft class the WNBA has ever seen. It's not gonna come down to the accolades, it's not gonna come down to the records being broken. What it boils down to is how much this class has grown the game overall. If you haven't noticed, everybody in the league is playing harder. The WNBA right now is seeing some of its best basketball being played. Anytime I turn on the Indiana Fever game, I see teams going their hardest at them. I mean, they don't want Caitlin Clark to get no shine. She is getting the bad end of every foul. But she back to her pushing off and getting away with calls, so it looked like she getting more comfortable. And congratulations to the Indiana Fever for clinching a playoff spot, all because a rookie. But you know Caitlin Clark is a headliner, so we gonna save her for the end. But where I want to start this thing, and just to let y'all know how I want to kind of go through it, we're going to start it with the rookies with the least amount of games played and top it off with Caitlin Clark. First off, no pun intended, I want to talk about the unfair treatment of Dyaisha Fair. I mean, she got drafted. We all happy for her, thinking she finna go to the Aces and chip up. They put that girl in one game and cut her. I don't know whose decision that was, but I think that's pretty messed up that they kind of ruined her chances of ever winning Rookie of the Year, and she ain't even get picked back up by nobody, so I don't even know if they put a good word out there for her. Another player we gonna talk about later, Celeste Taylor, she done played on 3 different teams, and you mean to tell me Dyaisha Fair couldn't get picked up by one of y'all? Nah, that shit was crazy. Somebody gonna have to explain something. Dyaisha Fair, if you need a platform, reach out to us. We'll definitely let you come on the show and talk about what happened, cause we have no idea and we know that you can ball. Nevertheless, if I wanted to get the Aces any kind of pass for this, I would say they did bring in another veteran who is helping the team. And I think Dyaisha Fair, she's more of a solo player, so she probably wasn't really grasping how to really play team defense or team offense, and she probably just didn't fit in much. So as a team builder, I would say, yeah, I understand it, but y'all could have at least not even put her in no games. Now she ain't got no chance of winning Rookie of the Year. But that's all I'm gonna say about that because she only played 1 game. Now let's talk about Charisma Osborne and Jess Carter. They both only played in 2 games, didn't really do enough to stick on teams, but I think they will get some time in the future when we get more teams added. Next, with 14 games played, is the UConn Husky, Nika Mühl. Believe it or not, Nika Mühl has not scored a basket at all this year, and she's played in 14 total games. She really not getting much time on the court, and I'm pretty sure Skylar Diggins and Jewel Lloyd and whoever else they got at guard is killing her out there in practice, so maybe she just need a little more time to grow and we'll see her sometime in the future. Next, with 15 games played, is the heartbreak of Cameron Brink. I gotta be honest, us losing Cam Brink to injury took a lot of wind out of the WNBA. I can tell you personally from my numbers and from my search engines that Cameron Brink is one of the highest searched players in the WNBA. And like I said in our first rookie evaluation, she was leading the league in block percentage. The Los Angeles Sparks still only got 7 wins on the year, but 4 of those wins came with Cam Brink. And that just shows the impact she's had on the team. Like, y'all can only win 3 games without her, and they got some decent bigs on the team. But trust me, this is only temporary. LA finna pick up somebody mean in the draft, and they gonna be right back at it next year. I mean, for Christ's sake, can you imagine if they get Paige Beckers, Cam Brink, and Rickea Jackson on the same team? I mean, until Juju Watkins get in here, good luck. But that, my friends, is a conversation for our mock draft. So let's move on to the next player with 17 games played, Marquesha Davis. She just out there camping in New York, best team in the league, big city, big lights. She is shining on that sideline. She's been compared to Aaliyah Copper, so she just gotta wait her turn. But hopefully this experience she getting is gonna help her when she finally do get put into that lineup. And them 17 games played is kind of bullshit because she only getting 3.5 minutes in those games. And now let's talk about one of my Ohio State girlies, Celeste Taylor. And I know she played for 3 universities, but where did she get drafted out of? Okay, we claiming her. But let's be for real, why y'all playing with her like that? She start off with the Indiana Fever, get in a couple games, day waiver. She get picked up by the Phoenix Mercury on the 7-day, play some good games for them, day waiver. She get another 7-day contract for the Connecticut Sun, ball out for them, day waiver. She signed a 2nd-day contract for the Phoenix Mercury, then another 3rd 7-day contract with the Phoenix Mercury, and then they finally signed her for the rest of the year. So like, what are we doing? 3 teams in one season? Phoenix, y'all needed 3 7 days to find out that she was like that? Celeste Taylor is beloved, and players like her deserve to be on teams because she worked hard. She done traveled the country and been in so many different systems, so her IQ is so high. She gonna last in this league. She gonna be one of those 10 to 15 year veterans, I can promise you that. Next, we have Alissa Pili. She also hasn't played much, only getting about 6 minutes in the game that she's played. And I don't want to keep saying the same thing over and over because we haven't seen much out of her, but this just ain't the team for her. She's not going to see much time with Elena Smith and Dyaisha Carter. With her being a little small to be on the forward side, she going to have to learn how to play the 3 and be able to guard the 3, but that just ain't going to happen on this team barring any kind of injury. Alright, but now I want to talk about the contributions of Kate Martin. Kate Money Martin has been just that, money for the Las Vegas Aces, shooting 37% from 3. And that is the highest 3-point percentage among all rookies so far. And it ain't many games left, so she probably gonna finish atop that list. And Kate Martin is the only player selected outside of the first round that stayed with one team and played almost every game the entire season. And I'm gonna be all the way real, it was players drafted out of the second round and third round that had better college careers than Kate Martin, cause she really went under the radar and flew under the shadows of Caitlin Clark. But she proved a lot of people wrong and proved that she belongs in this league and that she was a big part of that Hawkeye team. As long as she keep understanding her role, she gonna be in this league for a long time. Now, I want to talk about another one of my Ohio State girlies. This one, the number 5 pick in the draft, Jacy Sheldon. She really bringing that energy to the Wings right now, even though they ain't winning many games, but she worked her way into the starting lineup. She's still bringing that Ohio State press, guarding 94 feet. She fighting through screens, she ain't going for no switches, and she just got a very good feel for the game. All her passes are on target. She got the ability to actually bring the ball up and get the team into their offense and not even worried about taking her own shot. And she's become a really nice spot-up shooter for the Wings. They look for her a lot in that corner. Now, she ain't quite the bait queen that she was at Ohio State. The nickname I affectionately gave her because she used to bait people into throwing dumb passes and she'd get the steal. But her defense still been solid. JC is also among the top 2 players with her teammate Rickea Jackson in free throw shooting at 92%. Alright, now it's time to start talking about the big guns, starting with Aaliyah Edwards. Washington Mystics, without Elena Delle Donne, you can expect a bad season, but at least they found one bright spot in Aaliyah Edwards. I mean, she just so strong. Her offensive feel for the game is probably better than any big drafted in the last 2 to 3 years outside of Aaliyah Boston. She's second among all rookies in field goal percentage at 49%, and it looked like this league is real easy to her. I mean, she out there flexing more than she ever did at UConn. And this game right here was her best performance against the Chicago Sky. She knew she was going up against Angel Reese, and she came out with a season high in points and rebounds, going for 23 and 14. Now again, even though this team is not winning, the best part about her being on this team is they got a lot of good vets. Big Mama Steph, Ariel Atkins, even Carly Samuelson. So I know it's only a matter of time before she get that starting spot and play even better than what she's doing now. And let's not sleep on them getting the number 1 pick. Paige Beckers and Aaliyah Edwards, we already know how that would work out. Now let's talk about one of few national champions on this list. You see the face, you know her, Kamilla Cardoso. Don Staley calls her the separator, I call her the stop sign. Now I love the pairing between her and Angel Reese, but they definitely gonna have to separate them if they don't start giving her more touches. Cause I mean, it works out on the defensive end, Angel Reese being the ball hawk, Kamilla Cardoso being the stop sign, the separator. But on offense, if they don't bring in some type of offensive coordinator or a point guard that can really run the offense and know how to play with those two specifically, then this team is gonna struggle. But for real, Kamilla been doing her thing. I think she just haven't been getting the ball enough. Right now, she averaging 10 points on 51% shooting, and that percentage leads all rookies. She also averaging 8 rebounds per game. And we talk about the Angel Reese double-double streak. Kamilla Cardoso has 7 double-doubles. And also, this is a petty stat, but still, she got 8 games with at least 8 or 9 rebounds. And the only reason I say it's a petty stat because, come on coach, you could have ran her a couple minutes to let her grab them boards. And that's the same thing that Don Staley did to her. They never just let her play the whole game. When I look at Kamilla, she run faster than any big that I've seen in a long time. So I don't know, because she runs so fast, do she get tired? It don't look like it, but maybe that's the case. I mean, she do get in foul trouble some games, but come on, coach, sometimes you just gotta let her rock. You let Angel Reese rock with 4 fouls in the first half. Give Kamilla the same respect. Another great thing that's improved about her game since coming to the pros is her free throw shooting. She's currently shooting 73%, which is higher than any percentage she shot at South Carolina or Syracuse. I think the Chicago Sky, with all the pull they got, they need to go ahead and bring in Hakeem Olajuwon, Kevin McHale, somebody with some post moves, because these two are supposed to be dominating the post. I mean, they're supposed to be just going back and forth like the old Tim Duncan and David Robinson. Whenever Kamilla Cardoso catch the ball, it should be an automatic double team. No player under 6'4" should be able to stop her. The only player I seen her have issues with on defense was Brittany Griner, but outside of that, she been playing really good on both ends of the floor. And if you watch the Chicago Sky like I do, then I'm sure you see the visible frustration on Kamilla when she out there. Really, the only time she having success is when Kennedy Carter out there, because she actually passed her the ball. But it's multiple times Lindsay Allen look her off, and Dana Evans, she probably one of the worst entry passes I done seen in a long time. But with that, we now know the Chicago Sky gonna have one of the top picks in the draft, so let's hope they can use that pick to get somebody to help them now, or just draft somebody to help them moving forward. Alright, next up, we're going to talk about Rickea Jackson. Rickea has probably been the third best rookie, if not for Brink being injured. I'd probably push her down a number, but if we're talking offensively, then yeah, she's probably the number 2 best rookie in that area. All the moves she showed at Mississippi State and at Tennessee, that step back, that turnaround fadeaway, she brought that whole bag with her. Rickea Jackson has played in every game for the Los Angeles Sparks, making her one of only 2 rookies to compete in every game so far, which the other rookie we'll talk about later. She didn't start the first 5 games of the season, but she been starting ever since. And she given the Sparks 13 points on 46% shooting, which is actually ridiculous compared to most rookies of the past. And another reason I say this is the best draft class ever is because this draft class currently has 4 rookies averaging 10 points or more. That ain't happened since 2018 when A'ja Wilson was drafted. But the 4 players that did it that time was A'ja Wilson, Kelsey Mitchell, and then also Ariel Atkins and Diamond DeShields. Now, A'ja Wilson is probably one of the best rookies of all time. She came out averaging 20 and 8, but these rookies, I think we're looking at maybe 3 to 4 franchise players. That being Cameron Brink, Rickea Jackson, you can build around those 2, even if they wasn't on the same team. Then you got Angel Reese and Kamilla Cardoso. I think you can build around those 2, even if they wasn't on the same team. And Caitlin Clark, she is the system, she a team in herself. But Rickea Jackson specifically, I thought she was going to be the best scorer in this draft. Now, Caitlin Clark has proved me wrong on that thus far, but Rickea Jackson, she going to get a better feel for the game, and the more shots she get, the more scoring she going to do. Because right now, she only getting about 10 shots per game. And at Tennessee, she was up around 17 shots per game. With her efficiency numbers, eventually they're going to have to run the offense through her. I predicted that she was going to be the only one from this draft to win a scoring title, and I still think that's the case. But Caitlin Clark will probably get one too. Right now, Rickea Jackson is second among all rookies with games with 20 or more, with 5 games total. Rickea's offensive game is flawless. She don't need much improvement there. But on the defensive end, yeah, we need a lot of work. Coach Curt Miller be upset as hell at her because she just be giving up drive-bys and open shots and easy layups. That's one thing she need to work on, contesting more shots, going for more steals. Because the effort she got on offense, if she could match that on defense, then she would be unbelievable. Alright, now it's time. Let's talk about the one and only Bayou Barbie, Chi-Town Barbie, unapologetically Angel Reese. Now you guys know I've been following Angel for a long time. I put her number 2 on my mock draft. I really feel like I was one of the only people that saw this coming. She put in so much work during her 4 years in college. I didn't even expect her to come in doing this. I knew she was gonna be good, but breaking records, double streak like she did when she was in college, usually it takes some time for you to get a feel for the game, but she came in dominating from game 1. I mean, for real, she got 29 double-digit rebounding games in 34 games. In 2 of those games, she had 9 rebounds, and 1 of them she had 8. So she really could have had almost 30 to 33 games out of 34 in double-digit rebounds. I don't care what type of person you are, what type of hater you are, you gotta take your hat off to that. That is crazy work. That is literally putting your hard hat on and going to work every day. I think next year, she gonna be the first player, probably since like Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, to get double-digit rebounds in every game she played in a single season. Now, Angel had surgery and she's out for the season, but before she announced that on social media, she had 28 straight games with double-digit rebounds. And this is not college, bro. This is the WNBA. She doing this against the toughest, the strongest, grown-ass women, and she just 22 years old. Only reason her double-double streak broke because she had 7 points in one of those games. And in that game she had 7 points, she shot 3 for 10, so she could have got the damn double-double. But who she is Lady Dennis Rodman. What the GM and coaching staff need to do is be on the lookout for a Michael Jordan, somebody that's going to come in and score 20 to 25 points per game. Because Kamilla and Angel Reese, they got everything else locked up. This Chicago Sky team lost 13 games by 9 points or less. And they ain't nothing but not being able to put points on the board. And that's the difference between the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky right now. Caitlin Clark, she could put points on the board. She closing that gap. Angel Reese, Kamilla Cardoso, and the players on the Chicago Sky, they can't close that gap right now. I do think Angel Reese with a full offseason will come back with a nice jumper, or she will come back with more in her offensive bag to help close that gap on the offensive side. This is one player I will never lose confidence in, I will never lose faith in. I've had numerous coaches tell me this, I've heard players say this, including Candace Parker. Rebounds win championships. Offense make them buy tickets, defense win games, but rebounds win championships. Despite the record she broke, double-double streak, 3 consecutive games with 20 rebounds or more, and again 28 consecutive games with 10 rebounds or more, I really just can't wrap my mind around that stat. But I still don't think she did enough to win Rookie of the Year. But no doubt she had an amazing year, better than anybody could have ever predicted, especially being a number 7 pick in the draft. Now it's time to talk about the global icon, the transcendental generational talent. She is the hot ticket. She is the seat filler. She is the low GOAT, Caitlin Clark. The way she played this year, she is probably already a top 5, top 10 player in the WNBA. And the reason I say that is, the Fever have clinched the playoff spot, which we said earlier in the podcast, but this team has no perimeter defenders. Caitlin Clark is the only player on this team averaging a steal, which is a crazy stat. Like, how are y'all winning games with no perimeter defenders, nobody averaging a steal? I mean, Aaliyah Boston is averaging a block, Delissa Smith barely averaging a block, but really there's no rim protection or no perimeter defense. She got Lexi Hall shooting freaking 70% from 3 since the All-Star break. She 48% from 3 on the year. Kelsey Mitchell 41% from 3, averaging 20 points, the most points she's ever averaged in her career. The Indiana Fever offense is ranked number 3, while the defense is ranked number 11 out of 12 teams. So you can't say what she's doing out there ain't remarkable. She's literally dragging this Fever team along like she did that Iowa team. The same players that was on this team last year, Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, that's performing to the top of their levels just like they did last year. All of a sudden the temperature in Indiana changed and they winning games now. Caitlin Clark is the formula. All you do is add Caitlin Clark, add water, stir, and you got you a championship team. All this team really need to do is get more help on the inside, because I don't think they got enough size to really compete in the playoffs with teams like the New York Liberty and the Aces. But it's going to be very fun to watch to see how she fight to try to get a championship. We all know she didn't get one in college, but that was only a 4-year career. She got at least 15 to 20 years in the WNBA to try to go get one. And the reason it's difficult for players like her to win championships is because she can't guard A'ja Wilson. She can't guard Breanna Stewart. She can't guard those post players at all. And she really have a hard time guarding those perimeter players. So despite what she can do on offense, it's going to really take this team hunkering down on defense and getting some real defensive stoppers and a paint protector to really help her win the championship. It can definitely be done. With her talent, is no reason that she shouldn't walk away with at least 3, 4, 5 championships and really put herself in that GOAT conversation. I mean, she already leading the league in assists in her rookie year, so how many times you think she gonna do that again? I'm pretty sure she gonna snatch up a couple scoring titles. She could end up being the all-time leader in assists. She can be top 5 in scoring. She probably gonna be the all-time leader in 3-pointers made. I mean, I could really keep going and going. We know the accolades are gonna be there. All she need to do is follow all that up with some championships. And for real, Aaliyah Boston is not the player that she need to play with. NaLyssa Smith is not the player she need to play with. She making it work, but they just don't fit her play style. It don't matter how hard they work, the bigs in Indiana right now are not going to be better than A'ja Wilson or Breanna Stewart, not Alyssa Thomas, not Angel Reese. I mean, I can keep going on that level too. So they need to nip that in the bud real quick and really start looking for some real post players that can compete with Breanna and A'ja. Because I promise you this, anytime they see Aaliyah Boston across the court, they going at her neck. Just go back and look at the game we covered when the Fever played the Liberty. But Nyjah Laney was all up in Caitlin Clark. She couldn't barely get a shot off. And Jonquel Jones made Aaliyah Boston look like she was still a freshman. But nevertheless, Caitlin Clark is the Rookie of the Year. She'll definitely get some MVP votes. I would love to hear your feedback on who your favorite rookie is outside of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Who surprised you the most out of these rookies? Beat it up in the comments. You already know we checking those out. Before we close this thing out, I just want to say thank you guys for listening and watching. If you made it this far in the video, please hit that like button. Please hit that share button. Make YouTube put us on that real algorithm so we can get more numbers. Hashtag Women Love Shorts. We out here doing this for the love of the game to expand the game. So again, thank you for listening and watching. I'm Els for PR&M. Talk to you on the next one.